morning. Man, something's got to be said, man. Something has got to be said. It is becoming far too common. 4:25, friends. 4:25. Not my favorite. Don't like running late. And for some, you might think to yourself, running late? It's 4:25 in the morning. Listen, I was up at 3:40. Whether you believe it or not, it's the truth. And here we are, leaving 40 minutes after the fact. Not ideal. Once again, man, I think I said this a while back, and remember, there's something to be said about recognizing you're not feeling it. And it's not that I'm not feeling it, man. The reality is, it's been a couple weeks. The past couple weeks have just kind of been, man. The ceiling's here. It's so close. I just woke up and I was just like so tired. But today is one of my favorite days, and that is back, bicep, and shoulders. That's what motivated me to say, get your butt out of bed, drink your pre-workout, Savage, Peach Bum, 2 scoops, get it in your system, let's get rocking and rolling, guy. Man, just took me an age to get out of the house. So anyways, here we are. Yeah, man, back, bicep, and shoulders. What are we gonna do about it? Well, we're certainly gonna get after it. That's a given. That's a matter of fact. I'm gonna be starting with my favorite movement, my new favorite movement, which is like it's like that pull down, that cable pull down with the 2 ropes or the 2 handles. Start way up and just pull back. Dude, I freaking love that thing. It's great. Let's see. And then rows feel pretty good, so I'd like to do that as well. Listen, I can't say that I claim to be, freaking the most knowledgeable guy. I'm not by any stretch, Otto Octavius in the matters of lifting science, okay? And I guess for me it's like the beginning lift, the first exercise being that, 2 handle pull down. You really start at the top, and it's going to be a lot of lat activation. And as you lean back, right, you're starting to introduce and bring in essentially the whole back, right? And then with rows, if I understand right, at least where I feel it, that's going to be a lot of mid back, right? So I guess really right now I'm just trying to figure out, am I rounding out well with growing my back, right? Because the whole thing is like I want to get a wider back, bigger back, and that obviously comes with just lifting heavy and doing the right exercises, So I think that first one will suffice with what I'm looking for. And I will say, I'm learning, right? Like close grip, or like a V, the V handle, right? Like I don't really know what good that does for me personally. I used to do it when I first got back in the gym, but it's just kind of an awkward feeling having your arms that close. It just kind of feels like your range of motion, and I might be doing it wrong. Who's to say, right? I could very well just not be having that mind muscle control that gives me the right contraction, but um, you know, starting here and working your way back, I don't know that I feel much. So that's where rows come in. I like the wide grip, and then I know that machine is essentially the same thing. So that's, I think, kind of it's like my one thought. It's like, okay, what can I do different? You know what I'm saying? So we might figure something out for that, just because it feels like, I mean, that's literally seated rows. So I'm just doing it twice. So does that really count as like 3 separate exercises? Because if you are picking up on it, right? My whole thing is essentially 3 exercises at 4 sets for the first 2, and then 3 for the last one. So around 11 sets. And I may just hit 12, round it out, make it an even number. But that's kind of the idea. And then we'll get to the legs, because I can hear it already. Oh, you only do 8 for legs. What are you doing, right? Okay, well, let me just get it out of the way. For me, legs are so simple in the idea, like, and again, who am I? I don't claim to be no Otto Octavius in the university of lifting, right? But for me, it's like 2 sets, get warmed up, and then just freaking go heavy on legs. Like that just seems as simple as it gets, right? And I mean, I think my quads are, like, certainly my quads are still developing. I don't have, muscle separation yet, but eventually. And I certainly feel like I'm getting stronger. So maybe that's the whole idea with that. And then same with like calves, right? Hamstrings for sure. Like I've noticed like physical growth, as well as just like growth in strength of being able to pick up the heavier weight on a hamstring curl, like laying down, right? So I think there's that. But anyways, back to what we were talking about, right? For me, it's like the back, and like just upper body in general. You've got long head, and I'm probably doing this backwards, but it's like you got a long head, short head, and then your brachialis for your biceps. So for me, it's like, okay, how can I best round that out? You know what I'm saying? So it's like today, for biceps, we'll probably end up doing, I kind of want to change it up a little bit. I do want to try like cable curls. Just sit right up against it, or stand right up against it, and just try and just be like almost like stiff, because I know for myself I'll tend to start like swinging, and that's not what I want to do, because now I'm introducing front delts, and that's not isolating the bicep. So there's that effort, right? So there's like one thing I can do. And then preachers, I think that's just a good what do you call it, like a good standard exercise for bicep. And then we end it with like hammer curls, right? And to me, like, you're gonna focus on your brachialis at that point. And so that's kind of my thought process with the whole thing, is if I'm going to spend the time really building it out, and maybe I could be doing the same thing for legs, and I'm sure we may come around to let's try this for legs instead. But for right now, this is what works for me, man, and it's been working. I've seen progress. So as they say, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Well, I'm here for improvement. So if there's room for improvement, I'm willing to change some things around. So on the menu today, back, biceps, shoulders. Shoulders pretty straightforward. Lateral raise. We'll end up doing some front raises as well. 4:34, not an ideal time. We'll most likely just hop right in and get right after it. Hey man, I'm excited. This is becoming one of my favorite days. Like I said, I'm just really excited for the progress that's to come in the future. So let's get inside and let's freaking get after it. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, back, biceps, shoulders completed. Yeah, that was a good lift, man. I like that one. Yeah, I had completely forgotten about isolated lat pulls on the cable. So that was exactly what I needed. It's exactly what I wanted. The first exercise, whatever you want to call it, that one's a great one every time. It's my favorite one to start with. I'm curious to know what it would feel like to end with that one, but as a start, that one's easily one of my favorites. Biceps felt great. Yeah, I mean, all in all, feel good about everything. Those front raises, those are elite as of late. Those feel amazing. Noticing from myself growth in that area. So exciting. Yeah, man. Frick. I don't know what it is. Try to end these, with something motivational and something encouraging. The biggest thing, and one of it's kind of the only thing I can think of right now. We did 30 minutes on the bike. It's funny because it's almost like meditating, sitting on that bike, and if I come across a song, or if I'm scrolling on TikTok or what have you, and I come across some motivational thing or whatever, I just sit there, you know what I mean? And I came across one, and I say this often, but the thing though is understanding the weight of it. And for me, it's I'm proud of you. You know how much it means to somebody to tell them, I'm proud of you? There's so much weight to that. I don't know who it would be, your mom, your dad, your uncle, for me, it's my wife, it's my parents, it's certain people around me. When they tell me I'm so proud of you, I'm proud of you, it's almost like there's nothing better, you know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing, dude. That is the absolute biggest thing. So I may be just some random guy on your TikTok. I may be just some random guy on your social feed, but I don't know how long it's been since you've heard it, but I am so proud of you. So proud of the progress you've made, the accomplishments. And the thing about it is even when people tell you that, in your head, you're defending why they shouldn't be proud of you. Stop. Get out of your head, man. Let people speak life into you, even if you feel like you don't deserve it, man. I don't know what you got going on in your life, and I don't know where you're at. But I want you to know, today, tomorrow, and the day after that, I am so proud of you. Yeah, man. I don't know. Anybody that watches this, just know that I'm proud of you and that I believe in you. I think it's easy for us to, beat ourselves down. I've said it before. I think we can be our own worst critic. And in some cases, I think that can be healthy. Can. Not saying it always is, but it can be. There's nothing wrong. There's always room for improvement. I remember I had a boss figure in my life. He, in a previous career, and he had told me, right, nobody's perfect. There's always room for improvement. I think you're doing a really good job, but nobody's perfect. And, it was, this was back in construction. And so I was evaluated all the time on my performance and what I was learning and all this other stuff. And I had to turn this sheet in with all these numbers showing this is where, handing it to a journeyman, and the journeyman would tell, me, and then that would be shared to the higher ups, letting them know this is how I evaluate this apprentice. And I remember too, I loved this guy, super funny, older dude. But I remember specifically, he wrote everything down, and he said, first of all, I want you to know you're doing a great job. And the only reason why I put this here is because nobody's perfect, number one. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. And everybody has room for improvement. So don't read this as a reflection of you're not doing good enough. It's just a matter of fact that nobody's perfect. And you always have room to improve. And yes, 100%. But coming back to what I was saying originally, we can be our worst critic, and we can tell ourselves, you suck, you're not good enough, or what have you. And those things aren't true. You know, we can be disappointed in our lifts and think like, I could have done more. I could have lifted heavier. I could have done 2 more reps. I could have lifted that. And that's fine. But the work that you put in is something to be recognized. Period. So I know it's a little bit of a, you know, pretty deep dive in, but it's something that just hit me while I was on the bike, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So anyways, back, biceps, shoulders completed. Feel great. Big day today. So looking forward to it. Yeah, man, that's it. I don't know if there's going to be a leg day this weekend. There's hope for it, and it may happen, but obviously we won't know until we get there. We got a week left until the event here in town, representing Raw Nutrition. So excited. You know, again, anybody that's in the area and you're watching this, please come out. I think it's going to be awesome. You will not be disappointed. It's going to be so awesome, man. I'm so excited for it. Really excited. So thankful for the opportunity to represent such an amazing brand, and an honor that I feel to be able to do so. But with that, today is over. We're going to get after it today, as we always do. If you heard nothing else in this, I'm proud of you. I believe in you. And as always, I appreciate you. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.